All right, battery's looking good.
I like what it says. I like your black vibe that you're going hoodie wise.
Thanks. You should see my shirt. Emancipate.
I like that.
Your mind, baby.
This is the PLUR Podcast, episode 13. What's up, GMP gang? It's your girl, Give Me PLUR, and coming up on this episode, we interview the famous Ellie Ellie, creator and founder of Female Ravers United, and learn what it's like to belong to a sisterhood of ravers. Welcome back to the PLUR Podcast. It's your girl, Give Me PLUR, and I'm here with a special lady named Ellie, and she is here to represent the Female Ravers United Facebook group. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself and a little bit about the Facebook group. It's going to be a good episode, y'all. Go ahead, Ellie.
Hey, everyone. My name is Ellie, and I run Female Ravers United. We call it FRU for short. I'm Chicago based, but I'm a native Detroiter, you know. So
okay.
Now I feel like both are my home. So I'm a Detroiter and a Chicagoan. I created a group called Female Ravers United. That's about 13,000 people strong now. And it's based around bringing the women of the EDM community together.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about that. Like, how did you even start the group? Like, what made you want to start an all-female Facebook group?
Well, it really started with my Chicago-based page, EDM Ladies of Chicago, because when I moved to Chicago a couple years ago, I moved on a whim. I came up for a Zed's Dead concert, and I had $100 in my backpack, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna live in Chicago. I'm gonna make it here. Wow. And so I'm just like, wow, okay, well, now I don't know anyone. I don't have any friends. How do I, as a woman, go about making safe connections here in the city? So me and my friend Herlinda, made this Facebook group together, and we're just like, okay, this is going to be our way to get out, meet people, connect with people in the city, and meet other girls and feel safe when we go out. And so stemming from that, I decided to create a nationwide page because I'm now I'm going to more festivals. I'm going to Electric Zoo. I'm going to EDC. I'm going to Electric Forest, Voodoo, Buku. And I'm just I love a safe atmosphere where we can build each other up and meet each other from all around the country. And now it has expanded to all around the world.
Wow, that's awesome. So it started with EDM, what was it called?
EDM Ladies of Chicago.
EDM Ladies of Chicago. Okay. And I feel like I've found that page first, even before I met you in Chicago Shufflers.
Yeah.
But I think I found that page first, just randomly online. And how many people are in that group?
As of today, I think about 4,000 people.
4,000. Okay. Why do you think that female ravers is doing better than EDM Ladies?
Well, EDM Ladies is more it's more local, it's more small.
Okay.
So it's Chicago based, and most of the girls live and reside in Chicago. Whereas Female Ravers United, that's people all around the world and all around the country. So we have our Canada girls, we have people from Europe, we have people from Australia, we have a couple girls from South Africa. Wow. So it's a sprinkle of everyone, not just one city.
Okay, that makes sense, obviously. Okay, so how long have you been raving?
That's a really funny story. So technically, I guess I could say since 2015, I drove up from Detroit for Chicago's very first Freaky Deaky.
Oh, okay.
R.I.P. Freaky Deaky Chicago.
Right.
Yeah, and I came up for a K-pop artist specifically that was playing at Freaky Deaky. And then I knew nothing about the scene. I knew nothing about EDM. I was just coming for a whole different artist. And then my entire world was opened up by coming up for that festival. And I feel like it changed my life. And then from then on, I started to get into more music and start going to more shows. And it just evolved and progressed from there.
Okay. And that was in 2014. And when did you say that you moved to Chicago, officially?
So Freaky Deaky started in 2015, and I think I moved to Chicago in I want to say 2018 for Zed's Dead Navy Pier Chicago show.
Okay, right. Yeah, that's around the time that I met you, because I met you through Chicago Shufflers.
Yeah.
So running your Facebook group, what are some of like the challenges that you face? Like maybe not every day, but just every once in a while. Like what is the biggest issues that you face running that big ass group?
I think some of like the hardest things are maybe everyone has an opinion and a lot of people feel very strongly about them, and it's hard to have everyone's opinion always be expressed without hurting other people's feelings. So as a moderator, we try to make sure that everyone's being heard, and sometimes that can be really difficult because people are trying to drown out other people's voices and arguments or fights, or sometimes people don't know the dangers behind something, and that might spark a problem. Like glitter is like a really bad problem in the rave community because it's not biodegradable. So like you're kind of destroying the earth with the amount of glitter that you use when you go to a rave. So someone might post a picture like super innocent, like, hey, this is me wearing like a lot of glitter, but someone who's more of an environmentalist was like, yeah, I see that you're wearing a lot of glitter, but that's bad for the environment. You should switch to using a more biodegradable glitter instead of the one that you're using.
Right.
So it's just like little stuff like that where like people aren't always on the same page, that it's kind of hard to work with. And then I feel like sometimes people don't realize the amount of like work that goes on behind the scenes and running a page. Like there's 13 of us, but sometimes we need to take time off, we need to take breaks. It's like a volunteer job, and we love it. It's like our world, is our hearts, but like we can't always keep up with like what's going on, or like sometimes we're asleep so we don't see a message, or sometimes things fall through the crack. And I just hate when people like they feel like something might be personal and it's not. It's just like, we didn't know this, or we didn't see, or like we didn't realize we were tagged in this, or we didn't realize you like sent us a message. So I think those are like the two hardest things.
Okay. And you said that you have some admins, right? So how do you go about picking your admins? Is it just people, like, do you have like a certain criteria that they have to meet, or is it just like whoever first come first serve? Like, how do you go about that?
A lot of our admins started with me, like in the beginning of the page. I'm just like, oh, these seem like some fun people to like kick it with, and we've like grown and progressed together from there. And since then I've just picked a couple of choice people that I've been eyeing, who I feel like contribute well to the group. I'm like, oh, you've been in the group since day one, you like post a lot, you communicate well. So those are like things I look for when I pick another admin.
Okay. Well, as far as like contributions, I know that you have moderators who make sure that like certain things aren't posted or some things are. Like, how do you decide what to post and what not to post? Because I know you said everybody has like an opinion, and I don't have a Facebook group or anything like that, but like even on my page, like sometimes, not even on my page, just like on EDM Twitter or something, like everybody has an opinion about something. And especially in this like era where we're at, like everybody's entitled and everybody wants to be heard. Like, how do you go about deciding what gets posted and what doesn't?
Well, there's 13 admins in the group, so I feel like we have a diverse amount of opinions. And so if we feel like something is questionable or something like that, we discuss it within ourselves before posting it. So the 13 of us will get together and be like, hey, what are your opinions about this? How do you feel about this? Do you think this is appropriate? And sometimes it'll get posted, sometimes it won't, or sometimes it'll be like, hey, like, if this goes through, people might get heated, people might get emotional, so someone has to stay online and like watch it. So
Okay.
if you want to post it, then it's your responsibility to make sure that things are going well.
Okay. Have you ever had to like block any girls or get any girls off of the group because of like some drama that they like started or because of some comments that they made?
I mean, that's a given within a group. Like, there's always going to be people who don't feel like the group is for them, but if they don't feel like it's for them or they feel certain ways about things, then that's okay.
Sometimes it's hard for females to get along, but I think you do
Yeah.
a pretty good job though, because I hop in every once in a while and check and see what people are talking about. Get a lot of my ideas, I told you, from your group and from my episodes. I get some ideas, and the girls are pretty nice. They're
Yeah.
pretty nice to each other. I don't really see, and even any arguments that I have seen, that they weren't really arguments. They might just say like they disagree with something, but it's like very cordial. I've never seen anything crazy. Now, what is your take on sexism in the rave scene? Because I read a lot of posts about women complaining about like getting sexually harassed, touched on, or even drugged at festivals. So like, how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel like, personally, I know a lot of things go on in raves. I feel like a lot of things go on like in the world, but that's what I try like to have my group do, is like look out for each other. So be like, let's have like a women's only meetup. Let's have like a space where we all know each other. We all feel safe. Like, let's look out for each other. So I know I like can't necessarily control what happens in the rest of the rave community, but at least I'd like to be a beacon, or like our group to be a beacon where women can come and feel safe and feel like secure and feel cared for, and be able to go to festivals and go to shows and go on adventures and find other girls to look out for them and other girls that they feel safe with.
That's what's up. I think that's really important because, there's a lot of girls who need that community, that like womanhood, sisterhood with between each other. I noticed that there are a lot of girls who see the Female Ravers United page as like their family. I know a lot of them like talk about that, and they say like they always started off with, I don't know if this will be approved, but I love you guys. Like, I think that's cute. Like, I think that's really awesome. And it's amazing that you're providing a space for women to feel comfortable enough to talk about their problems and their like heartaches, or like the stuff that they go through at festivals. Because I've spoken about it in some previous episodes, like, this is our safe space, but there are some people especially now that EDM is more mainstream. EDM is mainstream.
Yeah.
You get a lot of like the weirdos that's not the good kind. What I'm saying? So kudos to you. What are some of the problems that you see besides like, the women having like getting drugged or like felt on? What are some other problems that you see that women face in the scene?
A change that I would like to see in the community would be a focus on having more female producers and DJs. I feel like obviously there's a lot of women out here who make really good music, and I'd like to see them show up more on lineups. Like, I see it like to support more of our female artists on the local level. I feel like just female ravers and like female DJs and female artists need to be pushed more to the front and center, because there's so much talent that isn't being seen.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that there are a lot more female DJs that could be in the spotlight or be more of like a headliner at events or shows. Do you have any that you personally like that you would like to see more of, or like some girls that are like underground that aren't getting as much play as you would like them to?
Gosh, I don't have like a list off the top of my head, but I guess I would start with like supporting my friends and local DJs. Shout out to you, Brittany Beers. You know,
Brittany!
like starting with people who are at the local level, like go out to your shows, support your friends. Like when your friends post something, show up.
For sure. For sure. We got a lot of local talent within our like Chicago Shuffler group that we're part of, and I'm not really on EDM ladies of Chicago. I'm not really on there. I'm gonna start getting back on there and seeing what's up, because I do want to connect more with the girls in the city. But I'm sure they probably post some of their stuff too, right?
Yeah, several of the girls are DJs and they perform at different venues around the city.
Nice. So what is your like most rewarding thing, like from being an owner of a group like this?
I think the most rewarding thing about running a group of this size and like caliber are the connections that I form from it. And the connections that people form with each other. Like I can't make it to every meetup. Like I can't be at every festival around the country all at once. But so many people like take the time to like get people together, get groups together. Like, you know, there's a group of people in Minnesota. There's like a group of girls in Toronto, Ontario. There's a group of girls who get together in New York. Like our group isn't just, you know, a few people here and a few people there. There are collections of girls who built bonds specifically from this group, and like friendships that are going to last them like a lifetime, me included. So that's something that I really value.
Awesome. And what's your favorite thing about being a raver?
I think my favorite thing would be like the bonds that I make with people as I travel, as I go across the country. Like we may only be together an hour a day, like, you know, a few minutes, but like the bonds that you make with people at festivals, I feel like last a lifetime. Like I was sitting day one of EDC, like super overwhelmed, my first EDC, like 2-3 years ago. And I met this guy and we traded candy. Shout out to you, AJ. And, you know, like, I'm still friends with that person. We still hit each other up on Instagram. Like, you know, like those kind of bonds last a lifetime. And you make those by going to festivals. And I feel like there aren't a lot of other, like, music communities where you can go and just, like, be yourself and make automatic bonds with people. Like when you go out and like touch them and reach them and meet them, you know.
Yeah, it's a different type of connection when you actually like with someone doing the PLUR handshake and actually like having a spiritual connection with people, like with a ritual behind it. Like, yeah, I totally agree. I love trading candy. I'm the worst at making it though. Like I know how to make it, but I'm always last minute. Like Wasteland is about to come up and I don't have any candy made.
See, I'm the total opposite. I already start making candy for EDC.
Okay,
so
let me borrow
like,
some.
I got you.
I'm just going to put it on the arm that I don't trade.
Okay.
So. Okay, so what are your hobbies outside of raving?
Outside of raving, I feel like I'm starting to pick more hobbies up in 2020. Like 2020 is like the year of hobbies, you know. So I just start doing silks, which is, you know, air-based like yoga and different like tricks like that. And I read a lot.
What are your favorite kind of books?
I really like historical fiction. It's very nerdy, but I really like reading about like the Tudors and like King Henry VIII and stuff like that.
Nice. All right. Well, I don't know if I'm into that. I just like nonfiction books. I'm like a self-help nerd. I like stuff like that. Like we were just looking at my little library. I like that girl Jensen Sarah, and you've read her books too, but you said you couldn't get into it, right?
Yeah.
You like the what was that one? By Mark something when he's like the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Yeah, that's a good book.
Definitely.
For sure. Okay, so you're also involved in the Chicago Shufflers. Do you like to shuffle? I don't even know why I'm asking you that because I know you do. But how is being in that group? Like, how does that help you has it helped you with your other group? Like how to run it, or does it give you insight, or do you just like it for like by itself?
I just like it as a hobby. I like going out. I like dancing. I like making friends. Like, I am just a baby shuffler. I can do like a T-step and that's like it. But like, I like the bonds that I make from it, and I feel like it's a good way to get involved in the EDM community.
For sure, for sure. And what do you have like planned for next? Like any shows coming up?
Definitely. Like, if you guys want to catch me, you can catch me when Carl Cox comes to Radius, because that is one of the shows I'm looking forward to the most. Carl Cox hasn't been in Chicago in a while. Radius is a new venue in Pilsen. Like, I cannot wait.
18 and up.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what that brings for like the city and for Pilsen and for like the music industry in Chicago as a whole.
Yeah, we definitely need some new stuff. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. And I think festival-wise, I am a big maybe for Buku. If I can swing it, I'm definitely going to do it. And if not, EDC, Back-to-Back Movement are my next stops.
Okay. EDC Movement, I'm going to be there with you for that. Definitely. I'm going to do the camping, and then Movement. You guys convinced me to go like few months back, so I'm definitely going to check it out. You went last year, right?
No, I didn't go last year.
You didn't go last year?
It's really hard to do EDC and then literally the same week do Movement. Like, you have to be like ready for it. And last year I was spent.
For sure. And I think that like when I go, I'm like considering being like going sober because of that. Because it's hard to like actually party for real and like get no sleep and then barely get any rest and then go to a different festival. Like, it's we're too old for that. We've reached the old age in raving years.
I'm gonna be sober the whole time. I go to most of my shows sober. So.
Oh, word. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, now, is there anything that's happening within FRU that is coming up, like any collabs or any type of meetups or possibly merch that you want to let the listeners on the PLUR podcast know about?
I feel like that we have some really big things coming in 2020. I'm like really excited. The group is over a year old now. Like, you know, we're going to progress. We're going to grow. It's going to be great. It's going to be hella PLUR. We definitely have some meetups planned. We are planning a group camp for both Electric Forest and for Bonnaroo.
Okay.
So that means that we're going to, as a whole, camp as a group. So me and the other leaders, we run it. And then all the people who have like general admission tickets will come to us and we'll set it up where like a certain part of the campground will be just like the girls from FRU. So that's going to be really exciting, really dope. Hopefully we have some merch coming and we have some other surprises in store for everyone throughout the year.
Okay, awesome. Well, when that merch comes out, let me know, bitch, because I want the first t-shirt.
I got you.
Okay, awesome. So is there anything else that you like to say? You got any like resolutions or goals for 2020 for FRU?
I think my resolutions and my goals would be for us to grow as much as possible. I feel like I've met so many people. I've made so many great connections. Like, it's such a great and welcoming space. At least I try to make it as much as possible. Like, I hope that more and more people like continue to join us and continue to grow. So we have like a large, healthy space in like the EDM community to turn to. And then I think my other goals would be just, I don't know. I think to show my admins how much I appreciate them, because they are such good people. Like, they run the group just as much as I do. Like, they're always there, not only for the group, but for each other. And they're really genuine and good human beings. And like, I couldn't do this without a single one of them. Every single person contributes just as much, like, whether it's from like being like the center, like grounding everyone, like helping each other get through arguments, like just being like well spoken and like representing the group. And I just love that about them.
I'd like to ask, who wrote the rules? You guys have like a rule list, right? Who wrote that out?
We collab, so we all
it's
like come together.
It's very well written. I was just like, ooh, this is a real group. Like, I gotta be careful what I say. I gotta watch this, watch that. But no, it's like really nice.
The rules just kind of come as situations come. I know ours can be like kind of long and kind of wordy, but it's just like every rule we have is based off of some situation that we had that we try not to encounter again. So our rules, like, we know, like, the community shifts and, you know, people's opinion shifts. So we try to, like, change the rules to, like, be around that. But for the most part, like, we try to be as fair as possible and be as centered as possible.
Yeah, that's important. I think you do a great job. I think you do a great job at running it. It's a beautiful group. I check in every once in a while, at least 2-3 times a week, to get my fix of positivity and also insight for, like, my platform that I have here. And I just think that it's just a beautiful, beautiful group. And thank you for creating it. And thank you, moderators, for helping her. It's an awesome group, guys. So make sure you check her out. Do you have any final words, any advice you'd like to give to any female ravers out there?
Stay strong, stay positive, and I hope to see you all in 2020.
Awesome. And you guys can follow her at
our Facebook group is Female Ravers United. So is our Twitter, and so is our Instagram.
Awesome. And don't you have a personal one?
Oh, yeah, my personal. Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. My personal Facebook is Ellie Ellie. And then my Instagram is Melanin Rave Bay.
All right, I like that one. Melanin Rave Bay, bitches. All right, guys. Well, if you would like to give any suggestions for this podcast, or you have any questions or comments, make sure you email me at plurpodcast@givemepl.com, or you can hit me up on any of my social medias at givemepl. And I love you guys so much. Thanks for listening. It has been awesome. Peace, love, unity, respect. Give me P.L.U.R. out.